this is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.
Blaine Holt joins us, and Blaine, you know, the media half the time, it's strange. They're just exasperated that President Trump would talk forthrightly with them, and then they take that forthright conversation and try to use it against him. Like, how dare he say something like that? You know, it's just this statement of truth and reasonable and common sense, and then they take it and they try to use it against him. It's, I guess I can't blame them. That's what they do. How are you?
I'm doing great. No, they're not doing any pioneering work. This is not something new. But when the president was negotiating with Iran for the past year, they could have had their regime in place. They could have kept the regime. They just had to agree to some things that were going to ensure world safety. What I don't like is you've got members of the press now who are trying to defend a regime that if they're left in place, they're going to become an existential threat to Western civilization for generations. So you guys need to do a little deeper thinking. And once the missiles fly, all bets are off. The head of the snake has been nearly cut off. It's got to be cut off.
You know, it's something else about the media being upset by what is said. They have no real expertise like you do in the region and in the military and that kind of thing. But they can talk about messaging and pick apart what people say. And that's why so much of it is about, well, the president said this, and then he said that, and then he said this, and then he said that. Because that, like, it's quite frankly a higher version of high school. Like, oh my God, somebody said this about you in the cafeteria. It's, right? There's no expertise required for that kind of stuff. So what is your sense? And by the way, everybody, Blaine Holt called almost exactly when this war was going to start, 2 Fridays ago. You nailed it. You totally nailed it. Right down to the hour, essentially. When, I don't know how you figured it out, but you figured it out. It had something to do with the moon, everybody. When do you think it's going to end?
Well, probably the president wanted to have a goal of about 5 to 6 weeks. I think the large pole in the tent on determining what that looks like is, one, the Iranian people rising up and starting to take back their own power and needing our assistance, but not at the levels that you see it in the region now. 2, there's still a lot going on in the Straits of Hormuz, and it's not necessarily an Iranian issue, although the mainstream media wants it to be. The Straits of Hormuz getting closed is an unacceptable situation. Our problem is with the UK and Lloyd's of London. It's not with the Iranians. The other part is we've got to probably do something about making sure that oil infrastructure does not get sabotaged or blown up in Iran and Karj Island and keep those straits moving. Those are the last parts of this. But those are pretty rapid moving parts. I don't see, thousands upon thousands of troops on the ground, although troops on the ground is a whistle call or dog whistle for, the mainstream press. It's like, I saw a boot on the ground. It's like, well, there might be 7 boots on the ground. Now what are you going to do? Anyway, it's going to go on time, I think, probably 6, 7, 8 weeks, whatever it takes. But we're going to get to a place called victory as we have defined it, no matter what.
All right. Now, there's this very intriguing guy online. And he put a picture of Khomeini up. Khomeini is the new Ayatollah, the son of the other Ayatollah. So Iran has a supreme leader to replace the dead one. Congratulations to Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei. Hope he enjoys the 3 or 4 hours he has left in office. Kaboom! That was my Twitter, by the way. What happens to him? Is it important that we get him? Can we deal with this guy? What do you think?
Oh, no, this regime can't stay in place. The Islamic Republic of Iran is no more. It now needs to go back to the majority of Iranians, which is Zoroastrians, Christians, Buddhists. It's a multi-pluralistic society, and the Persians are rich with engineering. They'll come back into the world commons, but not with some of the bloodthirstiest terrorists ever to walk the planet. Where I think we should examine Mojtaba is again, back up at the UK. This guy has over $140 million worth of luxury real estate in London, no less, and has had for some time. So it's curious as to why the UK, that shut down Russian oligarchs and froze all their assets within hours of tanks running out of Russia into Ukraine, didn't do the same for the mullahs that are holding all kinds of hundreds of millions of dollars of real estate. Now this guy is the prospective leader. So where is this special relationship? You won't even let us use our bases. We need to examine that. That's a big deal.
Huh. How did he get all this real estate? What the hell's that all about? He's supposed to be a cleric. He's supposed to be basically a Muslim priest.
Yeah, just a simple man, except for when a United States president stuffs jets full of cash, flies them to Iran, and invests in all proxy terror states, including terror states that have hurt this country very badly, and then takes these guys, makes them rich, and puts them in line with the City of London globalists and all of the other fancy people breathing fancy air. That's how criminality worldwide works. That's why the globalists bet on both sides of every war.
How about that one? Wow. And he did it with Obama cash. Look,
which means your cash, which means your cash.
Yeah, our money. Going forward here, President Trump has done his part. You know, he got elected. He faced insurmountable odds, and he surmounted them. I feel like sometimes we count on President Trump to do too much. We're not picking up the slack ourselves. There's stuff that people can do. You know, he hasn't moved fast enough on the prosecutions. Well, he has a recalcitrant FBI and DOJ to this day. I guess I'm worried about him. I'm worried about midterms. I'm worried that as spectacular as his rise and governance has been, you know, there's life after Trump. And I don't see anybody who carries that kind of, tenacity, anything close to Trump. And I feel like we're at a point where the deep state will ultimately win. I'm usually not like this. I feel this way right now. Please talk me out of it.
Okay, I'm going to do that because you're not alone. A lot of people are feeling this way. We understand that if something very large in accountability doesn't happen by July 15th and the status quo remains, we're in very perilous straits. That's for sure. But I do feel, and I am hearing from different sources, that there are significant changes coming and revelations about what our government has been up to for years. But to your point, there is a thing called Trump derangement syndrome, never Trump, hate Trump, whatever. There's another malady called TCS, Trump complacency syndrome, and that gets to we the people. We've got to pick up the mantle. So yes, not everybody on President Trump's team is actually with President Trump. So if you want to look out around and you don't like the way Maha's going, get on it. Complain about it. You don't like chemtrails, get on it. Go to the EPA. You don't like what's going on in your TSA system. Hold the people accountable. These are not holy people. These are flawed people. President Trump's got a great strategy, but he is going to need our help. Now, I understand out of the Iran fracas that the base is on a bad morale run right now. I didn't vote for this, that type of garbage. You watch. We get a little bit of accountability. You watch MAGA and America First snap back in line so fast it'll make your head spin. But even so, that war over the horizon is not about this stuff. That war over the horizon is technological oligarchs, central bank digital currency, social credit scores, outright throwing away of the Fourth Amendment so that we can have a surveillance state. And don't think for 5 seconds that these little creeps don't want that. They do. America, take the fight. And, you know, President Trump could use a hand here.
Wow, that's amazing. Wait a second. Two things. Did you call it? We got Trump derangement syndrome, TDS. What's the other thing called?
TCS, Trump complacency syndrome. No, one man is not going to solve all our problems. We got to jump in.
That's amazing. And also, you said July 15th is the critical date. Why July 15th?
Because by that time, the press and all other facets of American society will be looking straight down the barrel of the midterms. Anything that's done to hold anybody to account will be seen as a political weapon used to just defeat political opposition. It'll water down the seriousness of the crimes that we have seen from COVID to Jan 6th to every other thing you can think of, including lawfare and even Tina Peters being locked up. So, no, America's got to stand up, and our president is doing that. I do understand that we are going to see some very interesting things in the days ahead, maybe the next 2 to 3 weeks.
You can write it down. General Blaine Holt, we're so grateful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.